Hello, and welcome to your training for this year's Create the Illusion for Color Zoom 2014. My name is Carlos Alvarez, and I'm your Goldwell Technical Associate for the Greater Houston area. So let's start off by talking about this year's collection name, Reallusion. Is it real or is it an illusion? It's natural versus artificial. Playing with perception is a fun and international phenomenon, appearing from catwalks just about all over the world, Milan to the New York runways. Reallusion is all about the little hidden treasures within somebody's canvas, things that make you take a second glance. As we continue to talk about Reallusion, there's three key factors that we have to keep in mind. We have setting the mood, the colors, and the kaleidoscope effect. Setting the mood is all about those little hidden treasures. The colors are shiny, subtle, yet very brilliant. This year we added two different tones to our collection, 5BB being our sparkling brown, and 10BB being our peachy beige. As we talk about the kaleidoscope effect, it's all about the contrasting of colors. It's the mixture between opacity versus illumination. Think about a kaleidoscope as you were a child and you were looking through its lens. How you can point out certain objects and yet distort its image and yet have fun with it. So let's recreate those with our collection that we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be focusing on the Corina and Anu. So as we move on with this creation of Reallusion, I want to share with you some of the pictures that are found within this book. We're starting to see the mixture and blend of tones. Light versus opacity. Hidden little treasures. Is it real or is it an illusion? Upside down. This is the perfect picture where we're talking about the lightness versus the contrast. The kaleidoscope effect. And Corina. This will be the one that we'll be dissecting a little further more. I'm going to go through the sectioning and the color placement to achieve this beautiful sparkling brown, which is done with our 5BB. If you go through this collection book, you're going to see that we started rolling some of these images that are being adapted by some of the big major vendors in the world. As you can see right here, it's a perfect example. We have somebody that is blending in with her surroundings, or camouflaging for a better term. And then we have our collection. We have Jordan, Eileen, Anel, Arthur, the Corina, and Anu. So let's break down Corina. So now I'm going to be talking about the breakdown of Corina and the placement of design. So I started with a very simple central vertical parting and a radial ear to ear. When I start with a very simple quadrant, it's very easy for me to come back and visualize where all these different prisms or geometric figures are being placed within her canvas. As you can see, it's very, very simple the way that I achieved this, and I will be walking you through a step-by-step on how I place the prisms and her color. So we're going to be starting with the top prism that is going to be placed roughly from that center parting that we had, this intersection between the central vertical parting and the radial ear to ear, and the very top prism that is located right here. It's almost from the top of the head, just right below that radial center parting, that radial ear to ear parting. We're going to be taking her first slice this way, taking it to that first section right there. Just remember, the cleaner the sections, the better or the easier it is for us to follow our pattern as well. Sometimes the diagrams can be a little intimidating on where do I start, but if you begin with a reference point, everything else just tends to fit like a puzzle. From this axis point right here, which would be on our doll head right here, it's probably about mid-recession. We're going to be taking a straight line all the way back to that section, creating here our sight prisms. Once again, using your color structure equalizer, just so that we can start preparing our canvas, once again for the better color uptake. We have placed our prisms. I changed our clips just so that I can have a little bit more place to work with, so that those big clips don't overpower this doll head. Our guest here, our Corina. We're going to start by applying her background foundation. Anything that is outside of those prisms is we're going to start applying her color. I like to start the color by outlining the areas that we're going to not be working with. Okay, so as you can see, we're still working with diagonal sections, working away from the face, just to make sure that we keep her application nice and neat. Alright, so just like that, we applied all our background color. I applied some of the color structure equalizer just to even out the porosity of this canvas. We're going to be taking some slices, working towards this top center of our prism. We're going to be taking some microwave slices. We're going to be alternating within our foils. I'm going to be using the thermal foils. Within those thermal foils, we're going to be alternating between our Silk Lift and our 5BV. I went ahead and used our 5BV with 20 volume, and the Silk Lift strong with. So we're going to tap our background color, and then on the rest we're going to apply our Silk Lift here. Now make sure that you turn your brush over a little bit and just melt the two colors so that there's no beginning or end, and it's just a beautiful transition from one palette to the next. We're going to be alternating our formulas between the Silk Lift and the 5BV. And just like that, we're going to follow that same pattern for the rest of that prism. We'll be tapping in our background color, and then melding the two colors of our second formula. Our second formula calls for 6RR, 4R, and 700, which 700 is one of my favorite colors at this time, in conjunction with this Reallusion. I think it's a great color to create opacity versus illumination. Once again, tapping our base, we're going to be running this one towards our ends. Hooking the hair nicely onto our thermal foil. Working nice and clean. And overlaying our next thermal foil here. So now we're going to be working on the final prism. We went ahead and work on the ones that are along the parietal ridge. We're going to be taking, again, the same pattern. We're going to be working with diagonal back sections all towards this reference point. We're going to be weaving. And for this top section, we're also going to be working with our Silk Lift and our background color being the 5BV. We're going to tap our background color, and then coming along with our Silk Lift. I went ahead and used Silk Lift Strong and 20 volume, and I did put 3 pumps of our intensive conditioning serum. We're now going to outline our last prism. And we're going to be adding this color from background to ends. Always working away from the face. so that we can keep nice clean applications. Alright, so just like that, we wrapped up our color application. We did the 5BV, which is the sparkling brown, and alternating foils with our silk lift lightener, and our other prism had a combination of 700, 6RR, and 4R. Just a little side note, let's make sure that we're always using our tools, our Color System Skin Remover, and cleaning, our hairlines and the exposed areas, just so that our clients are leaving our salons with very neat color applications. Alright, so now we're going to be talking about Anew. Anew is also designed with some amazing little hidden treasures, some of those prisms. So keeping in mind that we're still working with that concept of the kaleidoscope. Just going to showcase some of her little hidden treasures here, as you can very well see. It's almost acting as a low light going through her, through this canvas. Just as you can see, when we at the beginning of our presentation, we were talking about the contrast between reality and illusion. It's almost one of those things that, depending on how some of the wind would hit this canvas, it would reveal more of those little hidden treasures. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is Anew. Here we go, friends. Corina, showcasing that beautiful 5BV. And as you can tell, that color overspills and reveals those little hidden treasures that we have placed throughout these 6 prisms throughout her head. Beautiful, huh? And just like that, my friends, we come to a conclusion to this amazing training, Reallusion. What is real and what's an illusion? Keeping in mind that it's all about those little hidden treasures. It's about prediction becoming fruition. Like so, I just wanted to share with you how excited I was when I very first saw how George Clooney was going into this chameleon effect, blending in with his background setting. Amazing, huh? I'm amazed at how Goldwell can predict some of these trends, and it's amazing to see them roll out, whether it be in commercials, whether it be in magazine covers. Don't forget to sign up on colorzoom.com to enter this amazing competition, where it's going to take you to places beyond your imagination. Thank you very much, and see you very soon.